We all have that friend, right? That friend who, the moment they open their mouth, you just know all hell is going to break loose. To be honest, for many, I think I am probably that friend. But for the FIA, it's Mohammed Ben Sulayem, and for some reason they've let this f***tard out of his cage again. Though I don't usually put videos out midweek, I've got a full-time job to contend with now, so it must really take a lot to drag me to my microphone in the evening. But quite frankly, this latest episode in the F1 FIA sitcom can't go unnoticed on the FP1 Will channel. About a week ago, we heard some murmurings in the paddock over other F1 team principals being a little unhappy with Mercedes boss Toto Wolff. The dispute circulated around the apparent knowledge the Austrians seem to have in regards to the inner workings of FOM, knowledge that he allegedly shouldn't have been privy to. Where did it come from then? Well, Toto's wife, Susie Wolff, heads up the F1 Academy programme, which is the sport's attempt at an all-female junior series. Just in case you didn't know, it has been marketed like it's some sort of secret Illuminati group we're not meant to be aware of. Those murmurings died out fairly quickly, and it looked like everyone had just moved on. That, of course, is very rare in this sport. Just look at how often we still like to talk about what happened 2 f***ing years ago. Then again, it is still funny to rile people up, isn't it? Sure enough, on the 6th of December 2023, the FIA announced they'd opened an investigation into an F1 team principal and a member of FOM personnel, not naming Toto and Susie by name, though they couldn't have made it much more obvious. What we've seen in the subsequent 24 hours is quite a lot, if I'm honest. Every team and their dead nan has come out and claimed they had nothing to do with these allegations. Christian Horner has made the situation all about himself, which is no real surprise, and even F1 themselves have come forward and suggested they received no warning of this investigation whatsoever, which quite frankly is utterly mind-boggling. Of course, it's not been too long since the friction between the sport and the FIA was thrust into the limelight about this time last year, in a series of incidents which led to FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem being locked in a cage with a ball gag and not being allowed anywhere near the affairs of Formula 1. After a brief moment of peace, we're back here again, and we're sat here wondering how a man who can't even get through his own awards ceremony without looking like an utter moron is still running the show up there. As for the Wolff pair, they've obviously denied the claims, with Susie pulling the sexism card. Now, while normally I might roll my eyes at this, it's not like Big Ben here hasn't got a track record of being a misogynistic cunt. So where does that leave us? Well, the FIA have now dropped the investigation, publishing a statement which reads, "Following a review of Formula 1 management's F1 Code of Conduct and F1 Conflict of Interest policy and confirmation that appropriate protective measures are in place to mitigate any potential conflicts, the FIA is satisfied that the FOM's compliance management system is robust enough to prevent any unauthorized disclosure of confidential information." Now, I'm sorry, but this statement is complete and utter bollocks and we all know it. If you were really satisfied with FOM systems, then why exactly raise the issue in the first place? I can't believe any evidence uncovered in a single day would be enough to change the FIA's mind. What actually happened here is the FIA have looked around their locker room and realised that everyone else has just gone home. It's an embarrassing situation for all involved, and has only ripped the scab off the healing wound between both parties. Mohammed Ben Sulayem is quite possibly the most incompetent human being to hold a position this high up in motorsport. He's so incompetent, he's managed to make all 10 Formula 1 teams actually agree with one another. I don't think you could even do that if the cause was to feed the starving children in Africa. Let's not forget to mention as well that as I write this video, we're one day away from the FIA Gala, and how better to kick off the celebrations than with a drunk scrap between Wolff and Sulayem on the stage. The timing could literally not be more than this. So I've had my rant. Now what do we do? Well, quite frankly, Sulayem just needs to go. There's no beating around the bush this time. He was on thin ice after his actions 12 months ago, and this incident just shows he's learned absolutely nothing, and that apparently he doesn't even seem to care. F1 and the FIA's relationship, as I said, is on rocky ties as is. As much as some want the two to split, I honestly don't see that ending well for either involved. A more level-headed person at the helm might just help steady the ship, but if things carry on along this same trajectory, plain and simple, I'm worried. Well, that's my take on all this, and I'm really curious to know yours down in the comments section below. I appreciate this video is perhaps a little shorter than my usual offerings, but I'll hopefully be back on the weekend with what I actually plan to talk about this week instead. If you still enjoyed it, feel free to drop the vid a like and subscribe to the channel for more content in the future. A final thank you to all the members and patrons for their continued support, and if you'd like to get involved in that, then all the relevant links are down in the description below. I'll be back soon with another video, but until then, have a good one.